Why? Why does that matter so much? And when you say ethical sourcing, what's the difference between what you do and what normal chocolate
Yeah,
companies
big
do?
chocolate in America. Well, the big thing is when I got into chocolate, I didn't know any of these things. We used to source our cocoa from Peru, cacao, which ethical sourcing is not really an issue there. But the problem is, majority of the world's cocoa comes from West Africa, and so as we got bigger, everyone's like, "Hey, you need to switch your supply chain to West Africa." I'm like, "Cool." And so then I started studying and reading up about it, and I noticed that 46% of labor in West Africa on cocoa farms is child labor. And I was like, that can't be accurate. And then I started digging deeper and deeper. And I was like, holy shit, it's just almost half of labor is child labor. And so I started talking to all the big chocolate companies, or not all of them, but as many as I could get a hold of. And I was like, so what do you guys do about this whole child labor thing? And they're constantly just telling me like it just is what it is. That's how chocolate always has been. And I was like, whoa, you guys make like $1 billion a year in profit. You don't see an issue with that being on the back of little kids? And they're like, no. And then I have this crazy clip on. Cause I have a documentary guy. I think you saw him, Jeff, who
Yeah.
follows me around. Crazy clip where I'm meeting with like a big. I gotta be as vague as possible because they're gonna murder me if we got time back to them. But like a big supplier, we'll just leave it vague like that. And I asked them, I was like, so do you have any way I can pay extra to not use child labor or anything like that, or any options? And they're just like, no. And my literal documentary guy is just like filming, and I'm in like this big boardroom, and I look at the camera, I'm like, holy shit, they just said that on camera. And so I did all this research, and it was just like, yeah, no. And especially in America, like there's some European chocolate brands that try, but in America, like really no one really cared. I mean, there's plenty of options and plenty of time to fix it, plenty of money to fix it. So that just kind of honestly pissed me off, and like that. So then I just was like, how do we solve this? And so then it sent me down the rabbit hole. Everything points back to like, to the reason chocolate in America is so cheap is because they just don't, not the reason, but one of the reasons, they just pay the farmers so little. Like farmers make less than $1 a day. So like because of that, they're forced to use child labor because I mean they literally just don't even have money to pay someone who's not a child. How many kids do you think are in child labor in West Africa, just on cocoa farms?
Uh,
You might have saw it in that tweet.
5,000?
No, it's 1.5 million.
You're joking.
Yeah, it's over a million. It's crazy. So what we need to do is we need to, in my head, get to $1 billion a year in revenue as fast as possible while being ethically sourced and being profitable. A big part of it is we have to be profitable while doing it, because then I can point and go, look, we achieve scale ethically and we're making money.